If there's one thing that I've found in the last 4 years of being a dietitian, it's that sometimes we overcomplicate nutrition. It can be so easy to get caught up in the latest trends, the sexy new fad diets, and even the latest celebrities promising you you'll look exactly like them if you just take this diet pill or do this detox cleanse, even when Botox and fillers are the things that are actually helping them there. So today we're bringing it back to the basics. And even though these are basic nutrition habits and skills that I think everyone should learn about nutrition and building healthy habits, I think they will transform your life. In fact, if you stick to these 4 tips, they will transform your health in 30 days. It's a super windy day in Colorado, as it seems to always be this time of year. So I'm using my new fun, sexy podcast microphone to record the audio in today's video. So let me know in the comment section below, do you like my new mic? Now, the first way that we can bring it back to the basics is fruits and veggies. I know you probably predicted that, but again, we are back to the basics here. So when you go to the store next, I want you to pick out 2 to 3 veggies and 2 to 3 fruits that you can have throughout the week. So when it comes to fruit, I want you to have at least one fruit that sits out on the counter. Think clementines, apples, bananas, so you can always visually remember to have your fruit in that day. And of course you can have things that are more perishable, like the berries that you need to store in your fridge, but I want you to at least have one that you can keep within your line of sight in your kitchen, so you're constantly reminded to have more produce. Now, the most crucial thing that I find that helps me eat more veggies and actually eat the vegetables that I get from the store is having one vegetable that doesn't require any prep. So for example, for me, that is almost always, without a shadow of a doubt, baby carrots. They're just super easy and require absolutely no prep, and I am lazy, so that helps me to eat more vegetables. And for the other 2, find one day where you prep the veggies that you have. What I find works best for me is to prep them once I get them from the store, but it is totally up to you what day you do this. I just recommend doing it probably within 1 to 2 days of buying the actual produce, or else, without a doubt, it gets buried in your fridge and you end up tossing it at the end of the week. A second thing that you can do to transform the way that you eat in 30 days or less is to start habit pairing. And what I mean by this is pair a habit that you want to achieve that you haven't gotten a chance to master just yet with one that is already an established habit. So for example, if you listen to podcasts every morning and you want to start incorporating a healthy breakfast as well, you can pair those 2 things together. So when you are listening to your morning podcast, that can trigger the habit to getting out a banana and some yogurt and having a healthy breakfast alongside of those things. There's something about our neural pathways that makes it easier to incorporate a new habit when we pair it with an already established habit. You can also do this with your daily supplements. So if you're looking to have a multivitamin every day, but you just can't seem to remember or take it consistently, I know I have that problem, pair it with something like your morning coffee if you have your morning coffee every day. Or if you brush your teeth every morning, which hopefully you do, before you brush your teeth, have the supplement. It's just an easy way to trigger our memory. It's such a powerful thing, and I love habit hacking, so definitely let me know if you want to talk about this topic further, but this has been one of the most transformative things for me. If you are someone who nerds out about habit hacking as well, check out the Mindful Muscles Academy in the description below. That is my online virtual course for mindful eating, habit hacking, and building your fitness with good nutrition. So definitely check that out in the description below. I highly recommend it. And we talk more about habits in the course itself. And hey, if you're enjoying this video, let me know in the comment section below, what will you be habit pairing this week? The next thing that I think will absolutely change your eating habits and your diet in 30 days or less is eating every 3 to 4 hours. Now, this advice is definitely said a lot, but here's what I find. It's not actually listened to and honored very often. So a lot of times people think that they're eating on a regular schedule, but then when they really get down to it and analyze what their eating schedule looks like, they're skipping meals, they're skipping snacks, they're going 5 to 8 hours between meals. And that is really hard on your body. It can lead to things like mindless eating and emotional eating. And that's not because anything is wrong with you or wrong with your hormones. It's just because your body has that natural tendency. If it feels like it's threatened to go without food for hours and hours and hours, once you finally get that food, your body is going to fill up on as much as possible and send those hormone signals to your brain to, get it in while you can. So this is a natural primal response, I promise, but something that can help with it is eating consistently, and I recommend every 3 to 4 hours. Now, of course, I don't want you to be obsessive about it or make it like a food rule necessarily, but on average, I typically eat about 7 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 or 1 p.m., midday between lunch and dinner, and then at night. And I know that sounds like a lot of times, but literally the snacks in between meals are usually something super simple that don't require any sort of extra prep. So it can be like a banana and peanut butter or a Greek yogurt cup. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just eat every 3 to 4 hours. And I think you'll notice that your emotional eating, your cravings, your blood sugar will all be a little bit better, if not a lot. Okay, and the last tip that I have for you today to transform your diet in 30 days or less is having carbs, fat, and protein at meals. Now, if you watch a lot of my videos, you've probably heard this tip before and you might be sick of it already, but the same thing that I mentioned in the last tip applies to this one as well. A lot of people think that they're getting a pretty balanced diet, but when it comes down to it, they're not having all 3 macronutrients that you need to stay full and satisfied. And so if you're missing out on one of these things, then you're probably noticing that your hunger signals are going off more frequently than they should. So common one is when you're not getting enough protein. So if you're getting a lot of carbohydrate rich foods and fat rich foods, but not protein, you might be hungry all the time. Another one that I commonly see is not getting enough carbs. So again, if you are not getting enough carbs, you're probably really low energy and you're not feeling your best brain-wise. You're probably experiencing a lot of brain fog. I have a video on how to determine if you're eating enough carbs, so I will leave that in the description box below this video. I definitely think you should check it out. So I definitely recommend doing something like a photo food journal. I sometimes use See How You Eat. It is an app that is totally free and you can journal and just take photos of the foods that you eat without having to calorie count or log macros or anything else like that. I think it makes it really easy to assess your food habits and see where you can improve and just be gentle with yourself without having to obsess over the numbers. More is not always better when it comes to macronutrients. I see some people who think that only eating veggies all day is better than getting that balance in, and it is definitely not the truth. So you're better off having carbs, fat, and protein, and not just a plate full of vegetables. You're better off having carbs, fat, and protein, and not just eating a full plate of protein, like in the keto diet, for example, which we like to knock on this channel. So let me know in the comment section below what tip stood out to you the most. What will you be habit pairing this week? And what other nutrition questions would you like to see me cover in a future video? Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And if you want to continue hanging out with me, check out this video right here.